Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Fabien Paillusson and I'm a physicist by training. I hold a PhD in physics and I've worked in different research institutions in the world, including in Paris, Cambridge, and Barcelona and Durham. And I'm currently an associate professor in physics and applied mathematics at the University of Lincoln in the UK. Now, before I move, any forward with what the channel is about, I just would like to say that anything on this channel is my own opinion, and that's it. So it does not necessarily reflect the opinion, or I'm not talking in the name of my institution here. So what is the channel about? So mostly it has an educational purpose, and here when I mean educational, it's really with the intention to inform and in particular share my enthusiasm and questioning about science and physics in particular. Now, where does that come from? Well, the thing is that when I was a student, I really read as many textbooks I could. I went to all my lectures, all my classes, and so on. In fact, I was thinking back a few weeks ago that I think when I was a student, and I was a student in a master's degree in France lasts for 5 years, I didn't miss a single class, not even for illness, throughout these 5 years. So I was really, very studious, and I was working a lot. And the thing is that after I started doing research and after I started reading more about various problems I was thinking about, I actually realized that there were plenty of things that I hadn't been told in my curriculum, but not only I hadn't been told these things, they were also very difficult to find. And this can go, about things that are as basic as, why is, for example, the first law of Newtonian mechanics important, or some much more complicated things which are more on the edge with or bordering with philosophy, for example, so philosophy of science or philosophy of physics. So that's the purpose of this channel, is therefore to be educational on various topics. So, for example, I have a set of lectures on colloidal science, because often the physical ways of addressing colloids is not really looked at in much details out there, and so here this constitutes a relatively accessible content for people who would like to understand colloids more, let's say, deeply from a physical standpoint. Now, I do like the bulk of, in any case, the channel is mostly on essentially either issues which are conceptual, mathematical, or philosophical issues that are in physics in general or in science even, or to go towards basically some details, technical details that people may want to look at if they want to have either a deeper understanding about a certain topic, or if they want to avoid making mistakes that may come from the way they are presented traditionally in education, or that may come from an educational system that tends to focus on procedural aspects. So the ability to essentially perform a particular procedure as fast as you can during, for example, time constraints. But this could be at the expense of understanding when is this procedure valid. So this is the kind of things I also look into. So if you're interested in learning more about physics, and in particular about things that tend to be misconstrued, either in physics, in mathematics, in science in general, or about things that essentially are never represented, and I believe should be in a physics curriculum or in a science curriculum in general, then I think you're in the right place. And you can feel free to provide suggestions of topic to cover in the comment section as well. So that's it. I will also put that in the description that I'm writing a blog. I've been writing a blog actually for quite some time, and this is called The Oblivious Physicist. And I think it does capture very well the actual content of the channel. The point here is really to look at physics answers that are traditionally offered in textbooks, and look at them a bit more critically, because usually we tend to have a tendency to parrot very efficiently and very smart ways, etc. But we essentially just replicate what we have read in textbooks. And so the point here is to look at it a bit more critically and see whether some other ideas are possible. So that's it for the presentation of this channel. And if you're interested, by all means, please consult the different playlists and video content I'm providing.